Well, it's crazy how much has happened since the original release of the 3 Days of the Arc East in the fall of 2025. Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia are now one, associated into the Maritime Adventure Riders Association. We exist to provide the adventure motorcycle rider with an exciting adventure map of Canadian Atlantic provinces, so you can just ride and forget about the map. And over the next 3 days, we'll ride the PEI ARC, the eastern route. We'll pick up on the PEI ARC here at the Power Road. PEI ARC is no longer just in 3 sections, but a 1,200-kilometer loop across the entire province. Let's get into the ride. We had some rain on Sunday. This is Tuesday. So, you know, that makes it a little nicer to ride on because some of the sandy spots are padded and packed down a little bit. So we'll see how it goes. I'm in no rush. I've got my tent packed. I've got some snacks packed. I'm all set. So we're going to take a leisurely ride on the PEI eastern end of the ARC. People wondering what is ARC? Well, this is ARC. This is what you're going to get. Windy country roads. Passable by the big bikes, the big adventure bikes, or small bikes, whatever it is. Some of us are getting older, and we prefer the smaller bikes, even for things like this. For those of us who are explorers and want to travel and see things, that's what ARC's all about. So I'll try to bring you along as much as I can. And of course, because PEI is the way it is, it's cut up. So there's a lot of zigging and there's some zagging and things like that. But for whatever reason, I'm not sure why, not many of the dirt roads around PEI are west to east or east to west. They're all, of course this one is, of course, because I just said that, but very few of them. And, you know, it creates a challenge for routing, that's for sure. So this trip on the PEI ARC is going to be a little bit different. This time I'm not proving the route. This time I'm on vacation. And I plan to take my time and visit everything on the route that it has to offer, from the scenery to the animals and all of its points of interest. I've ridden various versions of the route, but it wasn't done taking my time. The challenge is not just to complete the route, but to see what's on it. And we'll see some things. I've got my drone with me, so yeah, should be fun. Problem with PEI mud is it's really greasy. So my advice to you guys that are coming over from other provinces, I would put the best knobby tire on that you can afford. I would suggest that in case it rains on you or something like that. You can get away with a good 50-50, but I don't recommend it. I recommend a knobby tire. I put the TKC 80 on the rear because it's going to last a little bit longer than a D-Sport. A D-Sport's going to get chewed up pretty quick on a T7. I get to enjoy the view of this beautiful little back road. And the apple orchards. It's the first time I've been on Brazil this year. And I'm actually enjoying it. So you can see here with Tally, it's a wet road, and sometimes you'll get ruts in it. Not bad today, but you can tell it's wet. It looks like as if they had a grader through here not that long ago. Now on these easier level 0 dirt roads like this one, I challenge you, instead of hammer down, slow down to 60 and pay attention to what's around you. Pheasants and partridge are usually in broad daylight, but in hammer down mode, you just scare them away. It's a different experience. You don't have to finish it in one day. That's the beauty of this. That's what your tent is for. Use it.
Not pretty. And you need this stuff, you know, the meadows, the valleys. All this is in here. Old abandoned farmhouse.
I hear people saying all the time, I don't know what the meaning of life is. Well, that takes time for everybody to figure out what that is for them. However, I can tell you this, back here in the solitude of these old roads, you have a better chance of finding out what it is than you do in everyday life.
Well, there's a lot of farming. Cattle are around here. That's a grain elevator, so... Oh, there's a kitty. There's a kitty cat. And her kittens. Out for a morning stroll. Yeah, I guess that's beef cattle. I'd like to see more. People being able just to take their bloody time. And not be in a big rush to go anywhere. Looks like it's time to get the hay in for the year. Hee-haw! Lean back, let your bears go. And I'm getting a little bit hungry. Montague's not far that away. Let's run into Sobeys here and grab a quick sub. Drive that into me and we'll get going again. A quick sandwich. And we'll go back to the route.
Jeez, we hardly made a dent in that 10-foot hoagie.
Oh, give it a good hope.
No sense getting over hungry.
No panic, no rush. Let's see what else we can find.
I don't have to be home tonight. Which is always the thing, right? You know, you gotta probably turn for home 3 o'clock or so, and then you got a big highway slag to get back, because if you don't, you won't get back till dark if you take the route back home again. So this time I don't have to be. I got nowhere I have to be. We'll see what time it is when I get to Blackbrook Lookoff. I should be able to make it up to Brudenell. I might stay there for the night. And, you know, the reason why I would do that is they got power there to charge things. Old men need hot showers to loosen up old bones.
Oh, gray mare, she ain't what she used to be. Ain't what she used to be. Ain't what she used to be.
So we'll see how things go.
I like to keep my tire pressure for this type of thing around 30-30.
We'll check in with you when we get back on the ARC trail. See you in a bit. So this is the next section. This one's wider, a little more remote. Not a lot going on here down here. It's a wide one, and it's a dual use one. Cars, ATVs, motorcycles. Tenere 700s. They use it. This is a fun little spot. Beautiful. Looks like the ducks are out today. Nice. It's sort of a little 2-track, but it's a wide 2-track. We've reached the southeast coast. Ooh, I really like this Blue Buell Road. I really like it. That is Cape Air Lighthouse. That's where, when the Titanic sank, it got the first SOS distress signal. Cool history for little old PEI, eh? At some time, I'm gonna wild camp out here. There is a spot they call it boondocking. If you have a RV, they boondock out here. So if they can boondock, then we can put our tents up for one night too. So, you know, as long as you don't destroy the place, like leave it in a mess, as some people like to do. But us ADV riders, we don't do that, right? This little part here, it was washed out and destroyed when Fiona came through here. This whole guardrail was gone. So if you come over to PEI to run the PEI ARC, 100% come on out here. People boondock right there. This place hasn't changed a bit. The seal. So that's Blackbrook Cove. Seals out there today. Very vocal. I've never heard seals holler like that. There he is right there. Let's see if I can. They're right there. I think it's a male sitting there on that rock, and he's hollering. That's some females, I think. I'm not sure, but I mean, that's what I would do. That's a little in and out. There's not a lot of them on the Arc, but there's a couple, and that's one of them. You can go in, and then you stop and you can have a break, and I think it's worth it. It's pretty. Stop and have yourself a little swim, too, if you wanted to. He's boondocking. Nufrage Harbour. Pretty, eh? That nice? Quiet. Not a sound. Beautiful. I don't know if I can get around here or not. It looks like we can. Beautiful.
Today at the Murray Harbour Marina, it was almost as if it was set up just for me. So quiet and peaceful. There wasn't a soul around. I don't know what was going on or where everybody was, but there wasn't a soul on the harbor, and you couldn't hear a word. It was awesome.
This is called Pioneer Cemetery Road. Don't think I've ever been on it before. I added this as a little jiggamarandi to get off the main road. So here's Murray River. I still got more than half a tank. I'm gonna keep on going, I think. This province still hasn't really fully recovered from Fiona. Man, dear, that hurricane really took a toll on this place. I don't think they've got all the trees picked up from that storm yet. Wonder what they do around here. Could it be farming? One thing is for certain, I have to get a new helmet for off-road, for off-payment and off-roading. I bought this helmet as an ADV helmet, and I ain't happy with it. It's yeah. You gotta be kidding me. I've got a low tire pressure. 10.4 and it's dropping. Okay.
At first glance, I couldn't really see anything. So I moved the bike a little bit further ahead to the next road, and there was a nice little piece of asphalt there where I could get the center stand down. And lo and behold, when I got the center stand down and rotated the tire, there was an Allen wrench that had gone right through the tire, and that's where I was losing my tire pressure. I thought I had the camera set up so I could kind of see what I'm doing, but my backpack got in the way, so I didn't really capture a whole lot of it. But I was able, with all my tools, to get the tire pulled off, tube pulled out, patched, put back in, and it beat it up. And there was two guys, super nice guys. They stopped and kind of gave me a hand and made sure that I got back on the road again. So thanks a lot, fellas. I really appreciate for the company.
So we're late. So tonight I'm going to go into, I think, Seal Cove for the night. And we're going to tent there for tonight and see if they got anything open.
"20 minutes later."
Might be looks like an interesting spot. Okay, well, this is where we're staying tonight, Seal Cove. It's nice, never been here before. So I think I'm down here on 25, I think is what she said. Okay, 25 right here. Nice. Oh, nice. Isn't this sweet? Got water. Got everything.
In the stillness, I find my peace. Quiet prayer, my heart's release. With each word, I feel your grace.
After supper, I take my hot tea down to the beach. What a day. We rode some of the island's oldest roads. We saw lots of seals and some historic old places. Even though we got ourselves a flat tire today, this sunset, well, in my opinion, it's all worthwhile.
With your love, I feel the peace. Quiet prayer, my soul.
Whoa! Ooh, that was close. Now you want to talk sand. Look at that.
7 a.m. coffee at Seal Cove, and the birds are already singing. Moto camping doesn't get much better than this. After coffee, me being who I am, I go over all of my work from the day before, making sure everything is lined up and is as it should be. Get one of these. Very quick way of adjusting your chain. Here's another little tip that I got from somewhere, I don't remember. It's a toothbrush kit. But in here, fuses, patches, tire gauge, small bead buddies, thread lock, glue, everything goes into here.
Okay, so we're off. First thing I gotta do is get some breakfast. Kind of hungry. I walk the site, make sure I didn't leave anything behind, because I'm notoriously bad for leave my head behind if it wasn't attached. Bags are all secure. And hey, so we're off. 10 o'clock. Told you we weren't going to be rushing today. I'm going to find some breakfast. And I gotta get some gas too. And are we holding air? Yep. We're good. Okay. We're just going to find ourselves some brekkie.
Highlighted route.
So there's this spot called, where are we going? There's a little spot up the hill here that's got breakfast. So we're going to grab that. Now they're full of fuel. There's the restaurant right there.
20 minutes later.
All right, we're pretty well back where we started yesterday. This is Compton's Road. Looks like these roads have been freshly graveled this year.
There's nothing like the freedom of riding a motorcycle, and the only one that knows where you are is you.
McDonald Road is a little back entrance into the town of Montague. Leads me to Mellish Road. If you come to PEI and ride the ARC, if you do the whole thing, you will inevitably be on all the heritage roads. And this is another one. What you have to watch with Mellish Road is it seems like they it doesn't get graded a lot, so you'll get these ruts and stuff, but at no point that I've ever been down here is there a spot where you can't get around it. So that's how we designate these ARC tracks. If there's no way around it, then it goes up a level. Whoa! Ooh, that was close. Ooh. Now, last time I was in here, I near got mired in the sand. I'm not going to do that to myself today. I'm going to park here. So, if you come down the Mellish Road, there is a little pathway here. And it comes into these woods.
And as you follow along the path, you'll come to the Mellish Pond. That's where the road got its name from. If you continue on past that and go into the woods, there's a pathway here. And it leads you to this little campsite. I don't know who owns it, who set it up, but they've got logs here, and you can see it's actually been used. These are the spots that you miss when you're hammered down in these type of routes. So I can neither confirm or deny that I may have had a couple of breaks here through the years.
Okay, so we'll keep going. So that stream we were at, it comes up here, and there's a little bridge here. Nice little place to have a sandwich break. Washboards. Blueberry fields. I don't know if hay is early this year or not. I wouldn't say this road is used too much by the traveling public. Ding. As we go east, we'll start getting into these long straights. I'm just going to ride this like I was from Ontario, Quebec, and with the idea knowing that if I crash, I could be in a lot of trouble. I'm a long ways from home, so that's kind of what I'm doing today. And I mean, you know what? It's really refreshing and nice not to be in a big push. Not pretty. That's great that they're getting their hay in early.
Expect to be sharing the roads with ATVs more in the 2026 version of the PEI ARC. 6 more roads have been added that are dual use. There'll be no problem, everybody will get along just fine. It's break time. I'm stopping here because I'm finding that the canopy trees and the flickering is making my eyes tired. Also, if you don't have a bladder on your back for drinking, make sure you're stopping and hydrating yourself lots. Getting overtired is when mistakes happen, and it's easy to get dehydrated if you're not paying attention.
Well, that's kind of a neat little section right through a farmer's field.
So after quite a long section of dirt, you come up here in Fortune Harbour. Now, there's no dirt here, and this is just scenery at its best, and you're very close to Fortune and Rollo Bay, so there's fuel and food and supplies there.
Hungry hippo. I'm the world's worst, man. When I ride, I get hungry.
So I didn't stop in Rollo Bay. My fuel is good, and I've got some supplies in the back that I can eat if I get too hungry. But I'm trying to really get to East Point before it gets too dark, so that's why I didn't stop. But I would highly suggest that if you're feeling a little bit fatigued around this area, I would stop and have a rest, because from Sheenan Road here all the way to Elmira, you will be on dirt. And some of it can be fairly challenging because the sand can get deep.
This one is the long straight, and it'll take you up to East Point. But like I said before, it can be very sandy. So if you're new to this, take your time on this one. The sand. So take your time. Just take your time. Lean back a little in your saddle and take your time. A wide open field. I think at one time this Tarantum Road was a main road, but I don't think they use it much more than just for farming nowadays. Holy jumpins'.
It's really hard to describe the devastation of the woods in PEI after Hurricane Fiona. That section looked just like this one before the hurricane hit.
Remember this one? This was like pure sand. Whoa! Now you won't talk sand. Look at that. This sandy section goes on for quite a piece. Trying not to get into berms or ruts. Ruts and sand are lethal. Sandy McSanderson.
So there are 3 parts to the Tarantum Road. We just completed the first part of it. It's the sandy part. The second part that we're about to do, it's a lot of fun.
This type of thing here, it looks awesome, but I would take the edge off. I'll tell you why. You can't see very well on this stuff. It's pretty. It's just because of the trees, it makes it difficult Makes it a little bit difficult to eyeball what's in front of you. Let me get a quick picture of this.
The solitude and the quiet of PEI's Heritage Roads, there's nothing comes close to it. If you're back here on these lonely roads, you're probably the only one. You know, it would be kind of fun is to do a little experiment. Set up a lawn chair and sit down and wait and see how long it is before somebody actually comes by. You're going to be waiting a while.
Road's closed. Uh-oh.
A road closure. Not very many times you see those back here. Let's get a little closer and take a look.
So the road's closed, so we'll bypass it. They're trimming trees, fixing up power lines on it.
Luckily, this isn't a permanent road closure, so I can leave it on the map. If it had been a permanent closure, I would have had to reroute.
Can't really come up this far east and not go to East Point. So we're going to go up to East Point to see the old light. It's super cool. And I think after that we'll start looking for a campsite for the night.
Now, one of many changes from 2025 to 2026 is that East Point Light Station is now part of the main PEI ARC on the main route, where before it was only an excursion. It's just too historic to leave off the main map. I think it's worth the route change, and I think once you've seen it, you will too.
There's the old girl. So that was where Bernard Kramer moved it the first time. From way back there. This was where he set it. This was its foundations, and then they moved it back away from the water later. Incredible. And out there, that's where the HMS Phoenix crashed, on that barrier reef out there. Amazing.
The 66-foot tall East Point Lighthouse has the distinction of being Canada's Confederation Lighthouse. Built in 1867, it is the only lighthouse in Prince Edward Island still operational in 2026.
In 2 kilometers, turn right.
If you'd like to know more about how Bernard Kramer moved that light, check out What to Expect on the PEI ARC Part 2.
Well, that's East Point. So we're going to find a campground. For the night, it's 4:15. So we're going to try a campground called All Points East. And I think that there's a restaurant close to there, so maybe we'll stop there and get some grub after we get our campsite secured. And then maybe I'll eat the other what I brought for freeze dry too. I'm starving to death. If I can get in here for the night, that'll put me right onto the ARC on the return trip back to Charlottetown. Site 10. Site 10.
So I prepaid here for my stay here. I'm just gonna run down and locate my site, and once I know where it's at, I'm gonna turn around, go straight back. There's a restaurant just up the road, and I'm gonna grab some supper there.
$20. 10. That's 10 there, I think. Let's get something to eat.
So with Site 10 located, I am going to turn straight around and go just up the road, and there's a restaurant there called the Boathouse. And you know what? It turned out to be really good food. And I went here again the next morning for breakfast too.
Well, that hit the spot.
Now, we didn't do big distances today, but we did do a lot of stopping, did do a lot of looking, and that's what it's all about for these routes. It's not about how fast you can do it, it's what you find along the way.
Home for the night.
So with a full belly and my tent up, a cup of tea in hand, I've got just enough time to take a wander down by North Lake. What a spectacular view in the evening here as the sun sets and the fishermen are coming in and out of port. Gorgeous. You just don't see something like this every day, do you?
Man, I gotta say, this is beautiful riding.
Well, I'm glad you're still here with me. Let's do a quick review of the last 2 days. The first day of our adventure started in Charlottetown and ended in Murray Harbour. In episode 2, we traveled from Murray Harbour all the way up to North Lake. And now in episode 3, we head all the way back from North Lake back to Charlottetown. Let's get going.
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay, day 3. Day 3. I slept good last night. Grab a picture before I go.
All right, let's go grab some breakfast. It's funny, isn't it? Before we had the ability to check our tire pressures right from our console there, we never even looked at it before, but I'm sure happy that my patch is holding air.
Hey, that was loose. That's quite a view in the morning, isn't it? It smells like the sea, Billy. Yeah, it doesn't look super busy. Even better. This is the boathouse. I found food was pretty good. The portions weren't massive. However, price was decent, I thought. Anyway. Let me assume my exact same parking position I had yesterday.
Okay, hold that channel. I'll be right back.
20 minutes later.
Now that's what I would call a biggie biker breakfast. It was awesome.
So a little bit of a change of plans here. I was going to go down and get gas, but I got more than half a tank. That should be plenty to get me to St. Peter's. So we're going to do that. And it keeps a little bit of the weight down. Father James Road can be sandy and a little unpredictable sometimes, so we'll leave the weight off.
Most of the roads up east here, they're in fairly good condition, but you have to remember the only real people that use them is farm tractors. Just something to keep in the back of your mind.
So, Father James Road. It can be interesting. So, here we go. For you guys out there that are expert ADV, you'll have no problem with this whatsoever. I would not classify myself as expert ADV. I'm intermediate. Not real interested in the hardcore. That's just me. You know what? I probably would have been if I was younger. When I was in my younger days, I did a lot of riding on sport bikes. Probably a lot faster than I should have. And I did some track time at Shubenacadie and that type of thing. And it was fun. As you get older, you begin to understand that when you break your body, it takes a long time for it to recover, and it's never quite the same again. I've ridden this quite a few times now, Father James Road. It's pretty through here, man.
And at the pace that I'm going right now, I'm actually able to take in some of the sights. The red-winged blackbird in the trees, the frogs hopping into the ditch as I go by. These are the things that you miss when you're traveling at a pace where you just want to finish the track. Make it more than just finishing the track. Make it see what's on the track.
Oh, this is pretty, isn't it? Not pretty. Oh, better get a pic. Better get a picture. So answer me this question. How come when you get your helmet on, your nose gets itchy? Gorgeous, isn't it? Whee! The Glen. Here's the Glen. The Glen is a heritage road. She's an oldie, this guy. So, on these guys, take your time. There's a cool story to every one of these.
The Glen Road is old, and with that, there are all kinds of little pathways all around the Glen area. If you have a smaller dual sport, it's a mecca of riding in this area.
Don't be in a rush on the Glen. Glen's pretty.
The Glen area was once a very prosperous farming community with a mill and 2 blacksmith shops. Fine horses and driving wagons were status symbols that the residents proudly displayed along the route. Today, activity in the area centers around a shingle mill and farming. Stories of fairies abounded and still do in the area. Children would quietly await the appearance of these magical creatures.
I try not to get going here. I'm trying to keep the speed down.
Sometimes there's a real payoff for fighting off the horns that grow on us when we get into these really nicely groomed trails and you can really hammer down. Fight it and let yourself slow down and really take in what you're looking at.
Man, I gotta say, this is beautiful riding. You have to watch Kelly Road a little bit because it's not used a lot and there's runoffs and ruts. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes there is. And you have to watch this one. Like I say, slow down. How long that guy's been here.
Kind of funny, not long after I took this picture, I was in somebody's office and I noticed their calendar on the wall had the exact same tractor on the exact same road. At the end of the Kelly Road, we make a left-hand turn onto the main highway. Not very far, we'll be on asphalt, and then you can make a decision. You can make a left turn and continue on the main route, or you can make a right and go on an excursion up to Nufrage Harbour. There you can check out the wharf. Also, there is Shipwreck Cove Lighthouse, and if you want a wild camp for the night, at the end of the Cow River Road, there is a spot that you can put a tent down for the night. As soon as you finish the excursion, you'll be right back on the main route.
Mickle Macram Road. No idea what this one's like. Very few of the clay roads that had clay on them, just clay, are just clay now. They've got a little bit of gravel in them. Boy, that's beat up, isn't it? Okay, so this is the Klondike Road. It can be interesting. Interesting story. On this road I had when I was originally started doing these, oh boy, I think I started kind of putting around with these tracks 2019, 18-inch. So at that time all I had was the SuperTenere. Great bike, but it's big, eh? And I was back here on this road, and honest to heavens, I wasn't going real fast, faster than I am right now, and I don't know what I caught. The front wheel caught something, and I went I went from steering lock to steering lock, bang bang, just like that. It's like poof. And I thought, okay, well, I'm going down. And I could see, well, you can see there's not a lot of room here. I thought, well, that's it. I'm going down, and this is going to hurt. That's the first thing that flashed. Oh boy, this is going to hurt. And the next thing I knew, my wheel straightened up, and she kept on going. How? I don't know, but I thought, all right. Ooh, that's deeper than it looks. How I get out of that without going flat in my face, I have no idea. Anybody has a story like that, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear them. I think I'm going to stop. Take 5 and change some batteries. Off we go. Better put it in gear, right? That would help. Watch yourself when you come out here. This is the main Trans-Canada, and they're flying along here pretty good. School road. School's out for summer. Uh-oh. Is this closed?
The route veers left onto the dirt up ahead, so this road closure probably isn't going to affect me.
Oh, the bridge is out, but we're not taking the bridge. We're going McSwain. This looks as if it's a "Who, how you doing?" sand. I've never gone this way before. Huh. Interesting. So it's kind of interesting. I've always done that. Every time I've ever ridden this, I've always gone counterclockwise. This is, or I'm sorry, I always did it clockwise, but today I'm doing counterclockwise. And there's a nice view here. Somebody put the garbage there. That was good of them. Hang that on that tree. Ain't that nice? Cool, eh? Wonder what that tractor's worth. Probably 29 T7s.
Another road closure. Just a sec. Oh, okay. Yep, that's the back end of the bridge that we just went, so we should be good to keep on going. So many bridges on this island that were damaged through Fiona, and they're just now getting repaired.
More gravel. This road is rougher than a dirt road. I would say the only people that really ever use this is a farmer that farms that field.
There's something so peaceful and tranquil about riding these old PEI roads. Imagine the history that was here.
I think those are percherons. They're such majestic creatures, those big draft horses. There's a little one there, a colt. It looks like she's with mama. This guy here is saying a lot of yeses. This is probably Amish people. Their grounds are always immaculate. This is all Amish territory. Yeah. You can tell why they use clotheslines. You see? They're very green. There's something to be said for the simpler stuff in life, right?
You know, this is kind of what I'm talking about. If I had been really in a big rush, I would have blasted right by those big draft horses and never would have known they were even there. There's so few of them left. It's worth the time to stop and just look at them. That open field was not an open field before Hurricane Fiona.
So I just did a quick gas calculation, and what I'm going to do is go into Morel. Okay, so we're just coming into Morel to get some gas. We'll have ourselves a little 15-20 minute breather, and then we'll get back to it. Alrighty, here we go again.
Pleasant and charming. Those are the two words that's coming to mind as I amble along on the Sandy Cape Road all by myself. Just me and the bike.
Yeah, there's some duckies out there too. You know, it's a nice day for riding today. It's not warm. It's cool, which is nice. Cool. I think the only vehicles that use this is probably the tractors to get into the fields and stuff. Free Church of Scotland.
Now, if you ride the Arc and you like to fish, this spot right here, you're going to need your fishing pole here.
Pretty hard pack, this stuff. Now, here's a question for you guys out there. In the winter, do they plow these roads? Because if they plowed them, all this loose gravel, that'd be right in the ditch. Or Do they keep the blades up? I don't know. This one, McEwen, heavily used by tractors, logging, heavy equipment. Always seems to be a heavy truck on this road. Cool. I was gonna stop and get a picture, but then I thought, maybe not. Thank you.
Now, when you come to the end of the McEwen Road, you can make a choice. You can go right and go on an excursion up to St. Peter's Harbour Lighthouse, or just continue straight and keep on going on the main route.
This is Canovoy. I like this one. This is real pretty through here.
McDougall's Creek along the Canovoy Road is probably my favorite spots in that area to have a break. A nice sandwich and a hot cup of tea. You can't beat it. Now, at the end of the French River Road, you can make a decision to go right. That will take you on an excursion up to Crowbush Harbour. However, you can just continue on straight on the main route to Pointe de Roche.
Well, this is Pointe de Roche Road. This goes to the Afton Road. And at that point, we've completed the PEI Eastern Arc. Start to finish.
No more chains, I'm in control. Ride the wind, chase the light.
This is Afton, and this is the last leg of the Eastern PEI Arc. So after this part, you can make a choice. You can hook onto the mid loop. That will take you back down to the boat. If you want to go back to the boat, you can do that. It'll also loop you up to the bridge. If you're leaving and going to New Brunswick, then you can loop through there. At that point, once you get to the boat, you can make another decision whether you want to go west or not and follow the Western Arc. That Western one, that's more of a scenic one. It takes you can take two routes. There's a dirt one, and there's also a fully asphalt part too. Thank you so much for tagging along. I hope that gave you guys a real good idea of what it's like up on the eastern end of PEI. Come on over, take your time, book 3 days. That'll give you time to do some stuff. I didn't do any of the excursions. There's a bunch of excursions in that too. So you could easily spend 5 days up there. Easy. So I encourage you. If you have an adventure bike, any size, you can do that. There's some challenging sandy spots, but you can get through it. It's not that difficult.
Well, I really hope you enjoyed the 3 days of the PEI Arc East. I think I may make this an annual thing, and I may do a couple of days of camping on each end every year. I really enjoyed it, and I think you will too. So thanks for watching. God bless, and we'll see you next time.